There comes a moment when an INFJ's intuition stops whispering and starts screaming, when every subtle sign, every uneasy feeling, every quiet, something's off, they ignored finally aligns into one undeniable truth. They don't need proof, they feel it. Their gut connects the dots long before logic ever catches up. It's not anger they feel in that moment, it's clarity, a cold, calm realization that they were right all along. The mask slips, the energy shifts, and suddenly everything makes sense. The INFJ's intuition doesn't just sense lies or deceit, it sees patterns, motivations, and emotional undercurrents that others overlook. And once that inner knowing locks in, they stop questioning themselves and start preparing for what comes next. Because when an INFJ's intuition confirms what their heart already knew, they don't argue, they don't confront, they simply detach, rebuild, and never look back. If you've ever felt that quiet confirmation deep in your soul, when everything suddenly clicks, you already know the power of INFJ intuition. Question for you. Has your intuition ever proven something you couldn't explain before? Share your story in the comments. I read every one of them. And if you're an INFJ who trusts your inner knowing more than words, subscribe to Brainy 1, where we explore the depth, insight, and strength that set your mind apart. They feel the energy shift before the truth surfaces. For an INFJ, truth rarely arrives through words, it's felt first. Long before anything is said or revealed, they sense it. A subtle tension in the air, a change in tone, a flicker in someone's eyes that most people would miss. It's not paranoia, it's pattern recognition on a subconscious level. Their intuition picks up on the microsignals that people leak when they're hiding something: hesitation, forced smiles, or mismatched emotions that don't align with their words. At first, the INFJ doubts themselves. They question if they're overthinking or being too sensitive, but the feeling doesn't fade. It intensifies. Every small inconsistency adds weight to that quiet knowing building inside them. The laughter sounds hollow. The texts feel different. The energy of the connection shifts from warm to uncertain, and they can't ignore it anymore. This moment isn't loud, it's internal. It's that quiet realization that something deeper is off. The INFJ won't always react outwardly. Instead, they begin to step back emotionally, watching closely, collecting silent confirmation. They don't need confrontation. Energy tells the story before the truth catches up. When the truth finally surfaces, they're not surprised. The sadness they feel isn't from shock, it's from realizing their intuition had been right all along. They were hoping to be wrong, hoping their empathy had clouded their vision, but it hadn't. The energy told them everything before words ever could. And that's the power of an INFJ's intuition. It doesn't scream, it whispers the truth, and once it speaks, they can never unhear it. Their mind connects patterns others can't see. For the INFJ, intuition isn't just a feeling. It's a quiet form of intelligence that pieces together what others overlook. While most people take words and actions at face value, the INFJ's mind operates like a hidden algorithm, weaving together emotions, timing, tone, and even silence into a bigger picture. They don't always know how they know something. They just do. Their brain connects past experiences, subtle cues, and unspoken emotions into patterns that reveal the truth behind the mask. It might start with something small, a sentence that feels slightly off, a repeated behavior that contradicts earlier promises. To others, it seems meaningless, but to the INFJ, it's data. They store it quietly, and as days or weeks go by, the pattern becomes clear. That's when their intuition clicks, not from guessing, but from recognizing a repetition that can't be ignored. This ability can be both a blessing and a curse. It gives them incredible insight into people's true nature, but it also isolates them. Others might dismiss their insights as overthinking until, inevitably, everything unfolds exactly as the INFJ predicted. And when that happens, they don't celebrate being right. They simply go silent, knowing they've seen what others couldn't handle yet. What makes this power unique is that it's never about suspicion, it's about truth. The INFJ doesn't search for flaws, they sense them naturally. They see patterns of dishonesty, inconsistency, or emotional misalignment before they become visible to anyone else. And once the puzzle connects in their mind, there's no going back. Their intuition confirms what logic will one day prove, and they quietly begin to prepare for the shift they already know is coming. They notice consistency between words and energy. For an INFJ, communication goes far beyond what's said. It's about what feels true. They have an uncanny ability to sense when someone's words don't match the energy behind them. It's not just about tone or expression, it's about vibration, presence, and emotional rhythm. When someone says, "I'm fine," but their aura carries tension or sadness, the INFJ picks it up immediately, like static in an otherwise clear signal. Their empathy acts like a lie detector, but not in the traditional sense. It's not about catching deceit, it's about noticing when something doesn't align. They feel it in their body, an unease, a quiet tug in their intuition. Even if they can't explain it logically, their spirit whispers, "This doesn't match." Over time, these inconsistencies form patterns that reveal more truth than any confession could. This awareness often isolates them. Others accuse them of reading too much into things, yet their intuition is rarely wrong. The INFJ might pretend not to notice, but deep down, they're already adjusting, emotionally stepping back, preparing for the truth to unfold. They don't expose it, they observe it. When the truth finally aligns with the energy they sensed all along, they don't react, they simply nod inwardly. For them, the greatest validation isn't an apology or confession, it's the realization that their intuition and perception were right. That's what makes INFJs so mysterious. They don't confront dishonesty immediately. They watch it prove itself. And by the time others realize they've been seen through, the INFJ is already gone, calm, certain, and emotionally detached. They sense hidden motives behind kindness. An INFJ can tell when kindness is pure and when it's laced with an agenda. To most people, charm feels flattering, but to an INFJ, it can feel like a trap wrapped in a smile. Their intuition doesn't just hear compliments, it scans the emotional intent behind them. When someone offers warmth that doesn't match their true energy, the INFJ feels an almost imperceptible tension, a subtle off feeling that others overlook. They start to notice patterns, the compliments that come right before a favor is asked, the sudden interest that fades once the narcissist or opportunist gets what they wanted. To the INFJ, it's not about paranoia. It's emotional pattern recognition. They read between every line, feeling the energy behind every word, and once they detect manipulation, their demeanor shifts instantly. They won't call it out. That's not their style. Instead, they observe. Their responses become shorter, their energy quieter, their smile polite but distant. They begin creating emotional distance while appearing unchanged on the surface. It's not revenge, it's protection. INFJs have learned that some people weaponize kindness to gain control, approval, or sympathy. So when their intuition rings the alarm, they listen. They no longer let guilt keep them close to those who use affection as leverage. Instead, they pull back, gracefully, silently, while the other person still believes they have their trust. By the time the manipulator realizes the INFJ has seen through them, it's already too late. The connection has been emotionally severed. The INFJ's quiet intuition has once again done what it always does: protect them before logic could even explain why. Their dreams and gut feelings start aligning with reality. For INFJs, intuition doesn't just whisper in waking life, it speaks through dreams, symbols, and sensations that feel eerily predictive. They might dream of a situation, a person, or even a phrase days before it happens. It's not magic, it's their subconscious processing emotional patterns faster than logic can. Their mind gathers fragments, facial expressions, shifts in tone, subtle tension, and weaves them into vivid messages during rest. When this happens, it often feels like deja vu. They'll meet someone or walk into a moment and instantly recognize it, not from memory, but from intuition's quiet foresight. It's as if their inner world and outer reality begin to sync, confirming what they already felt deep inside. This alignment isn't always pleasant. Sometimes it confirms betrayal, disconnection, or change they hoped wasn't true. But INFJs rarely react in shock. When their dreams and gut feelings validate each other, they move with quiet certainty. They don't argue with the signs, they prepare for what's next. What makes this so powerful is that their intuition doesn't just predict outcomes, it prepares them emotionally for truth. So when reality finally unfolds, they aren't surprised. They've already accepted it in silence. That's the INFJ's hidden strength. While others rely on evidence, they rely on energetic truth. And by the time proof appears, they are already standing on solid emotional ground. They detach emotionally the moment the puzzle fits. For INFJs, emotional detachment doesn't come suddenly, it's the quiet result of clarity. They spend weeks, sometimes months, observing, feeling, and connecting dots no one else notices. Every subtle inconsistency, every unspoken tension, every intuitive nudge builds into a bigger picture. And when the final piece clicks into place, something inside them shifts, not in anger, but in understanding. This moment of clarity is both painful and liberating. The INFJ doesn't explode or demand answers, they simply stop needing them. Their empathy, once open and endless, begins to close like a gate. The emotions that once tethered them to others start fading into calm awareness. They see things and people exactly as they are, without the illusion of potential or excuses to soften the truth. From the outside, this detachment looks cold, but inside, it's the INFJ's version of healing. It's how they reclaim their peace after giving too much of themselves to people or situations that couldn't meet them halfway. They no longer chase closure because understanding is their closure. When the puzzle fits, they don't announce their realization, they withdraw with grace. Their silence says what words never could. I see everything now, and I'm done trying to change it. It's not bitterness, it's self-preservation. And once they reach that level of emotional clarity, there's no going back. The same empathy that once kept them bound now becomes the wisdom that finally sets them free. They stop seeking proof, their intuition is the proof. There comes a point in every INFJ's journey where they stop doubting what they feel. For most of their lives, they've second-guessed their instincts, asking for evidence, replaying conversations, and trying to convince themselves they're overreacting. But the truth is, their intuition was never wrong. It was simply ahead of time. When patterns repeat and people reveal themselves exactly as their gut predicted, something clicks inside the INFJ. They stop needing confirmation from the outside world because their internal compass has proven itself too many times. What others call a hunch feels to them like emotional mathematics. Quiet, accurate, undeniable. This realization changes everything. They stop explaining their feelings to those who invalidate them. They stop seeking validation from people who only trust logic. Instead, they trust their form of logic, the deep, subconscious synthesis of empathy, observation, and emotional resonance. It's not just a feeling, it's data wrapped in intuition. And this trust gives them peace. No more chasing closure, no more overanalyzing red flags, no more waiting for proof to appear in plain sight. When their intuition whispers now, they listen and act without guilt. To outsiders, it might seem like the INFJ has become distant or detached, but in truth, they've just evolved. They've learned to move through the world with quiet confidence, guided not by others' opinions, but by the one voice that has never lied to them, their own inner knowing. Once that trust is built, no manipulation, charm, or deception can override it again. They observe, quietly to confirm what they already know. Once an INFJ's intuition has revealed the truth, they don't confront it immediately, they observe. They step back and watch everything unfold with calm detachment, testing their inner knowing against reality. It's not because they doubt themselves anymore, it's because they want to witness the truth in action. Their quiet observation becomes their final confirmation. While others rush to expose lies or demand clarity, the INFJ chooses stillness. They study body language, tone, timing, the small inconsistencies that reveal what words try to hide. Every silence, every microexpression, every shift in energy is data. Their calmness unnerves people who sense they're being read but don't understand how. This stage marks the INFJ's transformation from emotional participant to silent analyst. They no longer need validation or confrontation. They are gathering truth-like evidence, not to use against anyone, but to free themselves from illusion. Their silence isn't passive, it's powerful. It allows people to reveal who they are without interference. And once the INFJ confirms what they already knew, they act with quiet finality, no argument, no closure talk, just distance. Their withdrawal feels sudden to others, but it's not. It's the end of a long, silent investigation. The INFJ always knew the truth. They were simply waiting for reality to confirm it. And when it does, they walk away not in anger, but in peace, because they've seen enough to never look back. They lose trust instantly, but gracefully. When an INFJ's intuition confirms betrayal or deception, their trust doesn't fade, it vanishes. There's no dramatic confrontation, no outburst, no warning. One quiet realization is all it takes for them to emotionally shut the door. But what makes it powerful isn't the speed, it's the grace with which they do it. INFJs don't seek revenge or validation, they simply stop investing energy where truth no longer lives. They'll still be kind, still polite, even warm on the surface, but the emotional depth you once had access to is gone forever. That invisible wall they build isn't made of anger, it's made of understanding. They've seen enough to know you can't rebuild trust where deception was comfortable. The INFJ's version of losing trust isn't loud, it's surgical. They quietly remove you from the inner circle of their empathy. They might still smile, but it's no longer with vulnerability behind it. They'll wish you well, but from a distance that can never be crossed again. And the most haunting part, you'll never know the exact moment they detached, only that the emotional warmth is gone, replaced by calm indifference. For the INFJ, trust is sacred currency. Once broken, it's never traded again. And in their silence, they deliver the deepest truth. I've forgiven you, but I'll never forget what you taught me about trust. They walk away peacefully with absolute clarity. When an INFJ finally walks away, it's never impulsive. It's the result of countless internal confirmations. They've analyzed, felt, doubted, and forgiven more times than anyone will ever know. But once their intuition aligns with truth and their heart has nothing left to give, the decision becomes unshakable. There's no drama, no revenge, no second guessing, just quiet certainty. They don't leave to hurt anyone, they leave to heal themselves. Their peace no longer depends on understanding or closure. They've accepted what is, released what was, and stopped trying to change what never wanted to grow. For the INFJ, walking away isn't an act of pride, it's an act of alignment. It's choosing peace over potential, clarity over confusion, and self-respect over hope that was never reciprocated. To the outside world, their exit might look emotionless, but it's the opposite. It's full of emotion they've already processed in silence. By the time they go, the storm has passed inside them. What remains is calm acceptance, the kind that comes only from knowing you did everything you could. And when they leave, they don't look back. The INFJ doesn't return to reopen wounds they've already healed. They move forward with quiet strength, carrying lessons instead of bitterness. Their peace becomes their final message. A reminder that sometimes the most powerful thing you can do isn't to fight harder, but to walk away gracefully, with absolute clarity. When an INFJ's intuition finally confirms the truth, something profound shifts inside them. They no longer chase answers or explanations, because now everything makes sense. The silence that follows isn't emptiness, it's liberation. They've seen behind the mask, connected every pattern, and realized that their intuition was right all along. And once that happens, they walk away not with anger, but with peace, the kind that comes only from inner knowing. If you've ever felt that quiet moment of truth when your intuition spoke louder than words, this video was made for you. Your clarity is your power. Never doubt it again. Comment below. Have you ever ignored your intuition only to find out it was right all along? What did that moment teach you? Subscribe to Brainy for more deep psychological insights about INFJ's intuition and emotional intelligence. New videos every week that help you understand your mind and protect your peace.